Video 2. We'll do the interior. I've done a couple buttons already. I did the awning. I did all the other stuff that was outside. But I'll start here. So a lot of this looks like there's a lot going on. It's not terrible. So you have your gauge here. So I'm gonna hit the fresh button. It says it's empty. It's really close to a quarter tank. Gray tank is empty. Black tank better be empty. Propane is full. That it can see it. Main battery full. Auxiliary battery does not exist. To the right of that we have water heater. I said I would explain this later when I got to the switches. I'll do these now. Water heater, electric. Turn that on. If you're just going to do some dishes, if you're going to do dishes, wash your hands, stuff like that, you can use that. But if you're going to take a shower, what you can do is you can leave that on and then turn on just the propane. Leave them both on, they'll both work, give you a little longer shower, but when you're done with the shower, just turn it back off, you'll be fine. It'll conserve on some propane that way as well, which is always nice when you're camping somewhere for a long period of time. Water pump, turn that on, obviously pulls from the tank, and then it gives you water to your fixtures inside. Battery disconnect, that kills all the power to the coach, all the 12 volt. Turn it back on, now you have 12 volt again, and now you'll have everything accessible again. The only time you're really going to use that is when you're storing it for short term, or if you're going to just store it for long term even. That's the only times you're going to use it. Short term, what I mean by that is anything over a week, just keep that in mind. You want to use it, keep it on when it's traveling, you want to keep it on when you're plugged in, you want to keep it on when the generator is running. If you're plugged in and you're running generator, if you're, well, let me rephrase that. If you're driving down the road, you want this on. Reason why is the alternator will charge your house batteries. Like I said, the only times you'll turn that off is when you are parked and you're storing it for short or long period of time. Generator next to it. So it will not, the generator, I explained earlier in the other video that it will not drain your tank below a quarter tank. But if you ever do get below a quarter tank, easiest way to get the air bubbles out is push and hold off. That's going to prime the system. It's going to use the pump on the generator to pump fuel to it, and then push over and start. About 30 seconds holding it, try to start it. After about 10 to 15 seconds of it not starting, try holding and priming it again. That will eventually get you to the propane or the gas that you need to the generator. There are 260.6 hours on the generator. Alright. Bed lift. That is going to be for the bed above the driver and passenger seat. Push down. It just comes straight down. On this one, it does have a plug and it does have an air mattress on it. That did not come stock with it, so we left it in there. Air mattress, plug, and the plug to get it to run all the way down. The plug to get it to run is going to be up in that cupboard there, and then your switches are going to be on this side, passenger side. Pretty nice. A little bit of storage, some other curtains, and I'll explain those in a little bit too. Go back up. It's not a bad looking coach. Doesn't usually take too long. Alright. You can't turn this off so none of the kids mess with it. You can take the key, don't lose it. It's the only one you have, only two you have. But off, you can remove the key. On, you cannot remove the key. We explained the awning light. I'll turn that back off. The awning control, on the off position, it will not extend, it will not retract. You want it on, now you can extend and retract it. It is retract now. Dining lights. Main ceiling lights. And then entry light, entry step, and porch light. That's all going to be right here or right there. Entry light is right above my head. You do have an inverter on this one. My suggestion is leave it on all the time if you want. It's basically just going to run your TVs, and it's going to run a couple plugs next to your bed. You might find a couple other ones throughout the coach that works, but typically it's just the TVs and the plugs next to your bed. You do get an auto gen start. What I'm going to suggest you do is go through the manuals on this one. You can hit auto gen, ignition on and off, set, manual, enter, battery. Again, go through your manual on this one. It's going to be a little more informative on the time I don't have with the video, so definitely check that. You can stop and prime and preheat it from here as well if you want, so just keep that in mind. To turn on and off the inverter, off, on. Slide outs, this one's pretty simple. I can push and hold out all day or in all day. What this wants is it wants the engine to be running and the parking brake to be engaged. So parking brake is already engaged. Ignition. 7,130 miles on that. Now that the ignition's running, the parking brake is engaged. Now I can push and hold out. Power gear system is a little loud, but once it's out, you won't hear it anymore. Opens up quite a bit of space. I'm going to run back to the back one real quick and then I'll come back through just so I can turn the engine off. Lights in the bedroom. Slide out switch here. This one's a little quieter. Done. I'm going to kill the ignition. Not a whole lot of electronics in here besides the TVs. I'm going to go through a few of them. I'll explain one TV. The other one's the same exact TV. The one outside is the same TV, so you'll be able to understand all three. A little bit of storage. TV on this one. This one's alright. So I want to bring this to antenna. So it's a multiplex system. Basically, it's all push button. You can see it without the light. And that really doesn't help much either. Alright, so you do have a DVD player here, and it will send to each TV. You have front, I wish I could get better lighting. See here, front TV viewing, exterior TV viewing, and rear TV viewing. If you wanted to, you could hook up a satellite dish in here on the roof and run it through this. and then send it to each TV individually. Now I got that to work pretty well. I'll let you see this. Focus. There we go. DVD. Push the button to make it go from DVD. Auxiliary is obviously another input. It just didn't give it a name beside auxiliary. Antenna. Auxiliary 2. And then cable. Pretty simple. Self-explanatory on most of that. If you have questions about that in the future, feel free to give us a call or ask for Dave, and I'll be able to answer questions on that. Beyond that, a little bit of wiring. Let's turn the TV on real quick. Remote, power. It is turning on. You can see it by the light. This is just over antenna, so you do have some channels, and I'm inside of a building behind a closed door, so a little bit of Dennis the Menace. It's awesome. There is volume, but to keep the TV, to program your TVs, it's actually really simple. Go to your remote, there's a menu button here, push menu, it's going to bring up that screen. Push the arrow button to the right. It's going to bring you to that screen. Push the arrow button down. We're going to go to auto scan and then press enter in the center of it. Start to scan. Now it's going to go through channels and find local channels near you. I'm going to let that one run while I talk about something else. I will talk about the antenna booster. This is on-off switch on the left. It's going to pull your signal from over-the-air waves, so you get channels on the TV. You do have a little boost, so if you want to fine-tune it a little bit, you can. And just play with it a little bit, you'll figure it out real fast. Basically, it's a game of how many lights can I get. More lights, the stronger the signal. So 4 lights is great, 3 lights is good. Anything less than that, you might get 2 or 3 channels, maybe. Pretty simple unit. Smoke detector. Right now, inside of a building, I'm getting 14 channels. Fridge on this one. Ice maker. Lever has to be down in order for it to work. Fridge, you can turn it on and off the fridge from here with that knob. And then fridge lock, which goes into a little hole right here. And there's the hole. Goes like that, and then locks the fridge shut so you don't have to worry about your milk spilling all over the floor. Stove, fold up from the bottom, fold up one more time, fully exposed stove. Turn it to light, and then click it. I don't know if the propane's on. Does not sound like it is on. But basically how you start the stove. Alright, I have to say this only because I've had 3 people do it now. I'm not going to name names. But it does say on here, warning, contact in full open position before using burners. Do not use burners with cover in closed position. Basically, it is not a cooktop. It is just a cover. A lot of people, I've had 3 people do it now where they've used it as a cooktop and it just shatters. Don't use it that way. Wait until the cooktop cools down before you close it, and you won't have a horrible day or just shattered glass everywhere. Yeah, 3 people. Alright, so convection oven, again, they need toward your manuals, or if you know how to use a convection oven, push convection, then you have your temperatures down here on the numbers, say 400 degrees, and then start. It's basically going to spin it, not that you can see it, but it is in there spinning. Convection, it basically works like a toaster oven. And we're done scanning, so we're back to 17, I believe. Yep, 17.1, 17.2. Just a few channels inside the building. Sink. I like the covers on these. It gives a little more counter space when you're not using just the sink. Beyond that, there's not a whole lot to teach. Table, how that functions is there's a lever underneath right here. Fold that down, and now I'll just push from the top, push it down. Move the cushions first, obviously. Bring it back up. Ooh. Bring it back up. There we go. Flip the lever over. Now it's going to lock in place and you cannot push it down. Bed on this one, grab it from the front and pull forward. So it turns your couch into a bed. There are seat belts on this couch as well. There's actually seat belts in the dinette tables and on top of it. Alright, toilet. Oh look, a roll of toilet paper already. Sink, mirror, shower, hot and cold. A little bidet, basically to spray any excess out of the bowl. Little closet. Nice size though. Thermostat, super easy to use. I mean, this thing is, I don't think you get any more direct. You have cool, fan off, heat, and fan speeds, high, auto, low, high, and on. Then your temperatures. You'll figure out how that one works really fast. It is super easy. If you've ever owned a home or been in a house, you can figure that out or use a thermostat. Bed on this one is just a little narrower than a queen size. Use queen size sheets. They're going to be your best fit. Under the bed, you have a table, a bar, and a ladder for the bunk. The table and the bar are for right between the seats up front. And beyond that, not a whole lot else going on. Cushion for the dinette table. Doors, and then slide over. Alright, let's get into the dash. Alright. I told you the top ones are power, the bottom ones are manual. Left, right. Dead center is not going to allow anything to move. Heated mirrors, those are really nice on rainy and foggy days. Leveling jacks. So it does say on it, engine running required for leveling. So turn that on real quick. See that one? It says jacks are down. Like I said in the first video, the jacks were down. It is level. But to retract or to level them, you want to get that to this point, ignition on, hit power. It's telling me to wait. Wait a second on that. It says jacks are down, low voltage. Low voltage is basically saying it wants me to start it. Turn it back on. Now once you get to this point, if you're not already leveled, all you'd have to do is hit auto. Auto would bring it down and level the coach out pretty level. If you find it to be not as level as you'd like it to, because it does have a small differential between fully level and what you think is level, so that does exist. What you can do to change that is hit manual, and then you can hit one of the sides. Push and hold it. Manual. Come on. Auto is actually auto retracting, so Hitting manual would allow you to push manual and then adjust each one individually. Right above that we have headlights. They are not manual or automatic headlights. This knob here is going to be for your dash. So headlights are on. It's going to change the dimming of the dash. Battery boost. Battery boost is going to be it's going to take your house battery and basically turn it into a chassis battery. So what I'm saying is, if you ever run your chassis battery dead, your engine battery, you can push and hold this button and it turns the house battery into a chassis battery. So it's basically jumping it on its own. It's kind of a cool little thing. But it is, you have to push and hold it or else it will not charge it. What I mostly tell people is start the generator and then do this, just so you know you're not going to just kill yourself all the way. All the batteries. It's kind of nice to have. Info for dash. Push buttons. They're fun to play with, and you'll find out what they do really quick. There's nothing special to them, so just hitting info, setup, and reset. You'll see what they do, and they'll tell you what they do. Visor is actually kind of nice. Okay, so it does not want me to move it while it's running, so weird. Absolutely odd. Alright, looks like something I'm going to have to fix. Not a problem. It'll be fixed before you get here. Alright, so we also have stereo. Ooh, hold on. Let me back up on this. Let me get the engine running again. At least the steering wheel unlocked. So I can see the dash. Just like every other vehicle, you have a temperature gauge for oil, fuel gauge, that is full, RPMs, and then you have your speedometer, transmission coolant, and coolant levels. Park, reverse, drive. You can do a little bit of manual shifting if you're going down a big hill with towing something. Steering wheel, on and off cruise control. Set, excel, resume, coast. You've used cruise control before. Pretty simple to use. Blinkers, all the way on, or on, off, blinkers, push for washer fluid. And it does have a little lever here for the adjustment of steering wheel. Tow haul button on the shifter. Okay. So you can do a couple things here. You can listen to the stereo from the house by hitting park. This is just for the stereo. It's going to allow the stereo to turn on. It's going to allow you to listen to the speakers while you're parked. Listen to the radio that way. It's pretty simplistic radio. I wish I could get this to focus better, but it's not there. It does have a camera setting, so I will again turn the ignition on, hit the camera. Now I'm going to see behind us. Or if I wanted to, left turn signal, slide out, right to turn signal, you're going to see the door. That's just by turning on the blinkers. Kind of a cool. It always goes back to the reverse. Hit menu. And then you can see previous, radio. Then let's go back to menu. Do phone. This is where you hook up for Bluetooth. Let's take and delete everything, because none of those are yours. I can scan, and I'm going to see an LG V60 on here, especially if my phone's Bluetooth is on. maybe I have to have my Bluetooth on. Basically, how you would find your Bluetooth, you'd have to turn on your phone, get it going there. Pretty simple. Again, if you have questions, or if you need me to explain more into it, or just indulge a little further into it, I don't like to make the videos more than 30 minutes, mostly because, well, one, my hard drive won't handle it, and two, it's time consuming. A lot of people get bored. Alright, so, yeah, but feel free to ask questions about it. I won't be able to spend a whole lot of time with you, mostly because, well, the world's crazy as it is. But feel free to ask for Dave. I will answer questions. Basic, your climate control on this one, button down here is going to be AC, and this is going to be recirculating air. But pretty nice system already. Alright, so again, okay, I will fix that blind. You do have a curtain there, just take the strap off it. I did say I'd explain the curtains, I forgot about that. We also have another curtain here. Unfortunately, the previous owners looks like they busted it up. I unfortunately cannot find any more of those rollers in a timely manner. So what they did was they took curtain here, and they have snaps that snap up here. And if you really were worried about it, there are, where'd they go? Oh, I know it's on here. There it is. They have hooks on here as well, but you only need the snaps. The snaps will be what you'll use the most. Snaps, hooks, so that's going to be your top, and just the snaps are going to be on the bottom. So hopefully this is informative. Again, I'm going to encourage you, if you have questions, ask. Alright? Have a good day.